Hello, my name is Cedric, and along with my beautiful wife, Connie, we'll be hosting my brand new podcast, That's What I Said. I'm a retired Navy veteran that suffers from PTSD and anxiety, and we'll discuss how I cope with the mental illness through comedy and discussion. It's a podcast that will talk about everything from cryptocurrency to comedy. If we're worrying about the dollar going up and down, up and down, up and down, and it's still a dollar, guess what? The value of that means absolutely nothing. Cryptocurrency in itself is the future of money. From spirituality to cannabis. To have cannabis on the Schedule 1 list is bullshit. I'm sorry, it is. It makes absolutely no sense. If it's a seed that can be planted and it has healing properties in it, why the hell is it in Schedule 1? Last time I checked, cocaine don't have healing property in it. From interracial relationships, I don't have a problem with people talking about interracial relationships. People try to talk bad about my interracial relationship just to think that they can get under my skin. I mean, really, it don't bother me. I mean, let's not make, call a spade a spade. But if you have a problem with someone that's in love, it shouldn't matter the race of the person. It's mental illness in our community. The problem is people want to put labels on it. Everybody wants to put color on everything. And as soon as you put color on it, it gets treated differently. The money gets treated funny. Because if it's dealing with Asians, guess what? It's going to take a longer process unless those leaders step up and get into the president's face or U.S. leaders' face and say, this is a problem in our community. Not leaving one topic unturned. If you want to hear real, authentic conversation, interviews, and comedy, please take time to listen to That's What I Said, because I said what I said.
Giving you 100% authentic, real, raw, unapologetic truth with no filter. Listen to That's What I Said. Available on your favorite podcast platform.
Y'all know what time it is. Turn up. That's what I said.
Welcome to another episode of That's What I Said with your host, Cedric Sanders. Giving you 100% authentic, real, raw, unapologetic truth with no filter. The broadcast starts now.
What's good? Hope everybody's enjoying their evening. It's, of course, not Friday. It's Tuesday. So, being that it's not Friday and it's Tuesday, what's going on? Talk to me. What's going on?
What's good? We're back live on the air. I'm ready for this episode. I think it's gonna open people's eyes and really make them think about what's going on in their finances.
Yeah, we're gonna be quick tonight, y'all. This is definitely gonna be a normal size podcast for us because of how we are wanting to change the dynamic of how we do our podcast. So there's going to be a lot of changes. There's going to be a whole lot of, I think upward mobility when it really comes to the podcast. So pay attention to this, do a brief intermission, play a commercial, and I'll be right back, y'all, with That's What I Said.
Hello, my name is Cedric, and along with my beautiful wife, Connie, we'll be hosting my brand new podcast, That's What I Said. I'm a retired Navy veteran that suffers from PTSD and anxiety, and we'll discuss how I cope with with the mental illness through comedy and discussion. It's a podcast that will talk about everything from cryptocurrency to comedy. If we're worrying about the dollar going up and down, up and down, up and down, and it's still a dollar, guess what? The value of that means absolutely nothing. Cryptocurrency in itself is the future of money. From spirituality to cannabis. To have cannabis on the Schedule 1 list is bullshit. I'm sorry, it is. It makes absolutely no sense. If it's a seed that can be planted and it has healing properties in it, why the hell is it in Schedule 1? Last time I checked, cocaine don't have healing property in it. From interracial relationships, I don't have a problem with people talking about interracial relationships. People try to talk bad about my interracial relationship just to think that they can get under my skin. I mean, really, it don't bother me. I mean, let's not make, call a spade a spade. But if you have a problem with someone that's in love, it shouldn't matter the race of the person. It's mental illness in our community. The problem is people want to put labels on it. Everybody wants to put color on everything. And as soon as you put color on it, it gets treated differently. The money gets treated funny. Because if it's dealing with Asians, guess what? It's going to take a longer process unless those leaders step up and get into the president's face or U.S. leaders' face and say, this is a problem in our community. Not leaving one topic unturned. If you want to hear real, authentic conversation, interviews, and comedy, please take time to listen to That's What I Said, because I said what I said.
Giving you 100% authentic, real, raw, unapologetic truth with no filter. Listen to That's What I Said, available on your favorite podcast platform.
That's what he said with Cedric D. Sanders.
100% real, raw, and uncut. Deadass.
What's good, everybody? I'm sorry about that. I had some a personal situation I had to take care of really quick, and we're back, y'all. So, and guess what? That's just what you have to deal with when you go live. So tonight, first off, let me do this. The podcast is changing, as we were saying before, and in those changes, what's going to end up happening is that we are going to be doing shorter podcasts, more meaningful podcasts, straight to the discussion, get it over with and everything. Then we have a couple of segments that we'll personally go through. And then that's pretty much it. Now, we will eventually have some longer podcasts, but right now I'm going to keep it between 30 and 45 minutes, including this episode. So keeping it within, them parameters, I think, is not only going to just be more engaging, but it's also going to allow us to be able to be functioning in a better environment when it comes to podcasting. So why the change? The change had to happen because I really am focused on financial awareness and, self-motivation. What's another, I guess you can call it personal management. Personal development, empowerment, motivation. And I've said that like 15,000 times already. Mentorship is just, some of these I think are the blueprint to being able to fix some things that you feel that you need to fix, or learn some things that you feel like you haven't been able to learn. And then moving into a direction where we're pushing the financial awareness button. Everybody's talking about they're not educated enough. They don't have enough. They weren't, they didn't teach us this in school. And I want to be that, that bridge. I want to be that bridge and that conduit that's going to be able to have the building discussions that we need to have for our community, for our people, so that we're educated enough to go in the right direction and not sit here and feel like we're full of bad decisions and, bad teachers didn't teach us the things that we needed to, be taught. Hell, a lot of us learn how to do what we do from the streets anyway. So what we talking about here? It's like now we got to graduate to actually say it's not so much the quote unquote demand system. It's the system in which we already are aware that they didn't teach us these things. So where can we go and get the information? That's free. That's available. And hell, even if you had to pay for it, you shouldn't have to pay something that is going to be an income, reducing payment. You're not getting anything from it.
Right. Return on investment.
No return on investment. It should be some type of an investment. So we need to start talking about investing in us. And if I could push that as a category on all social media and platforms for podcasts, I would, because that's what it is. Like that's exactly what it is. So tonight we're going to talk about something that I felt, something that we needed to, I think, discuss that we really haven't, but at the same time, it goes in both parameters as far as personal development and financial awareness. So to not fail financially, we need to do this. Well, what is it that we need to do? Well, there's a couple of things. Ideally, we have to be aware and know this. Rockefeller didn't want anybody outside of, let's be politically correct, anybody non-white. He wanted us to be workers. Now, if you want to take a step further, that was even for white people as well. He created the Board of Education. He did all these things and tried to grow a society so that it could be controlled. If you weren't in the family, you weren't in the know of all the secret know-hows of financial wealth and to be rich and how to multiply your income and do all these things and have passive income. None of these discussions was happening unless you were already in the family. Now there's people that are being able to work in corporate America to have these discussions so that we're not financially dependent on stuck situations. And what I mean by that is that a lot of us become financially dependent based off the situations we're in. And our financial awareness never goes further than what is in our, what is in our control area.
Yeah. Or the situation that you're
or the situation in
or have been in.
Absolutely.
It doesn't go but that far because you kind of choose not to really dig any deeper because you feel like you're already in a hole. So why continue the downward spiral? Absolutely.
It's a perpetual cycle of just being stuck. And a lot of times it's not something that we are even cognizant of. We're just trying to, make ends meet. We're trying to, take care of responsibilities. I'm a single parent or I'm in a relationship or I'm married, and I got to bring the bread home and take care of the wife and kids. And it's like you got all these responsibilities, but then nobody's ever stopped you and said, hey, are you bringing home enough money to take care of the family? And it's like a lot of people will say, no, it's never enough.
Right. Because it really never is.
It really never is. But then it's like, how are we
societal norms?
Right. And it's like, how can we not having these conversations to help people not be, not fail financially? Because the one thing, all we have to do is pay attention.
Yep. Make yourself smart.
To not fail financially, we need to do this one thing. Pay attention. We go on social media and find the most viral video of people doing great things, comedic wise, skits and all these other things, and all these digital creators, all the things that they've done and been successful at doing and continue doing to entertain people. I think is brilliant. But guess what else is out there on social media and all those reels and on YouTube? Nonsense. No, it's not just a bunch. Well, you got some nonsense too, but a lot of it's financial educate. People got educational tools, financial educational tools, motivation. Some of the digital creators will get on there and actually like speak to the people that follow them and really speak to them and say, hey, you're brilliant. You're good. You're a great person. Stop thinking negative. I knew you were about to think negative. Stop thinking negative. You are a positive person. You will have a positive day. I appreciate you. You appreciate you. We all appreciate you. Now, that was genuinely from my heart, me saying that. I ain't regurgitate shit. But at the same time, we won't pay attention to that, those type of conversations. We'll go off of what is nostalgic enough to keep us entertained.
The most trending topics. That's what everybody's looking for right now.
Not really. Not when it comes to comedy.
Well, no, not per se that, but I'm just saying is when logging into any social media platform, the first thing that people are attracted to is what's trending.
Well, how will you say that?
Because they're trying to look to see, as far as them as an individual.
Who are we?
People in general. When they log into any social
media. Not all people are doing that.
I didn't say all people. I said people in general.
That's who's people in general. You're being broad, babe.
Right. I am. Because I'm not just going to, say a certain group of folks, because it's really not a certain group.
It is a certain group, because I don't do that. Okay. All I'm saying is I understand what you're trying to say. What I'm trying to say is this.
Gen X, Gen Zs, they typically look to see what's trending.
Okay. Yes. Some people, maybe. Not all Gen Z and Gen X's are doing that. All I'm saying is this. you're right. However, I think some people in their focus when it comes to social media is based off of what they're driven to, what their attention is driven to. Not just what, if somebody wants to find out if, somebody got a new job and they posted it on social media, of course, that's the first thing they're going to check.
Right.
Did they post it on Facebook? Did they post it on Instagram? That's what people say now.
Right.
It's not like, when someone got a promotion, it's like, girl, you got her phone number so I can give her a call and congratulate her?
Yeah. Yeah, none of that is occurring.
None of that. This is exactly.
There's no conversations via phone or face to face anymore.
Right.
It's all via text or
right.
social media.
So I think preparing ourselves to understand where people's attention spans are, well, not necessarily attention spans. I would say what people are getting their relief from is social media.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times people, get news and everything else when it comes to social media.
Right.
But the reason why I think digital creators are being so successful is because people are taking time to look at something entertaining to break the norm of work, stress, and everything else. Because now you have it
shit.
right. It's within your fingertips. You can do that.
Mm-hmm.
Beforehand, it was like you plop down on the couch, you grab the remote, and you try to find something that's going,
right,
take your time. But see, we can't do that when it comes to the things we need.
No.
Because a lot of times it's, do you know the right person, or do you can you find out about it at the library? You got it on social media now.
Right.
There's so many different podcasts. I mean, not just this one that talks about finances, that talk about motivation, that talk about better ways to sleep, sexuality, relationships, how to be more romantic, how to not be so more romantic. They have true crime, religious based, spirituality, anything and everything you can think of, comedy, anything and everything you can think of. There's a podcast for it.
Yeah.
And I've been doing social media videos for 3 years prior to doing podcasting. And I've been doing podcasting over 3 years. So it takes, I think, dedication and not wanting to stop doing something to make something happen. Well, it's the same thing when it comes to finances.
Mm-hmm.
You have to position yourself with the right people that's going to tell you the truth about your flaws and how you could do better. What you are, bringing home as far as your income. Are you paying too much in taxes? Or you overspending? Do you have, too many bills, too many credit cards, things you got to eliminate? It's so many different things and so many different responsibilities that we're supposed to have when it comes to finances that people will always use the excuse, it was never taught to me. But are you responsible enough to make that change financially? And a lot of us is not really, ready to make that change because we have bad habits.
Right.
And until you eliminate one of the things that is distracting you from making you successful financially, doesn't mean that you're being successful financially means you're rich. No, that means that you understand money. You understand how to bring money in. You have an income, but now it's, do you know how to create an asset to put that money into so that it multiplies and has money babies? Do you I would much rather pay child support for my money having babies, having more babies, and having more babies than to sit here and have to pay child support because somebody's angry at you or because, relationship didn't work out and whatever the case may be, you know, you don't want to have to be stuck being responsible when you're going to be responsible anyway.
Yeah.
To have to make a payment.
Responsibility.
Right. To make you, you know, to force you into making a payment for something that you're going to be responsible for anyway. Or be the damn bank. Then there's that. But see, these are the conversations that I'm going to have on my podcast, the new That's What I Said podcast. New logos, if you haven't noticed, yes, I have new logos. One is above my head. And if you're watching the video, there's new logos. So you can go back and look at the old ones. And then if you're looking at the video, you might have a question as why does he have a glass? So if you look in the middle, right below the logo, there's a glass. Everybody's like, what's this glass? It's my tip jar, y'all. It's my tip jar. It'll have its own animation every now and again, regardless if it's tips in there or not. Of course, when there's tips going there, there'll be an animation for it. But got to add something to the video. When you're doing a live video and a podcast, you got to add that stuff. So I'm bringing this up because I want you to be able to watch both. Whether you're a video person, hands-on, or if you're just a person that has, you know, wants to drive around and have you listen to the podcast in your ear, or you're just taking a jog or whatever. I want to be able to give you that quick hit of information, as well as interviews and things of that nature when we have longer podcasts. And you can pick and choose what you want to listen to. But primarily, this personal development thing and financial awareness is big right now for me. And I'm going to break down a whole lot more when it comes to finance. I'm going to have series and things of that nature. But let's break this last part down real quick. Sometimes what we have to be aware of, besides the fact of, like I was saying before, them not teaching us this or whatever the case may be, is putting ourselves around people that are educated enough or can point you in a direction of people that are educated enough, and be in the circle of the knowing people instead of the unknowing people, where rich people have different conversations than people that are trying to get rich have. And what I mean by that is that sometimes when you're not rich, people have different conversations. You have people that are always constantly trying to have a bigger and better income. Then you have people that have that and want to build more. You have some people that want to get to that position, but they have a problem with getting that position because they don't have any income coming in. So it's like, how do people get them put in a position so that they can do that regardless of their job situation or where they're at? Everybody can know finances to put themselves in a better position to get the money that they need to get so they can live the life that they deserve to live and not struggle. I mean, yes, there's people that we should be able to take care of in our families outside of just who we are. So people don't have to worry about certain things financially, but it shouldn't be just dead set on waiting on this person to be successful so that they can get you out of the bad position you're in. Because guess what? You're still going to be in that position. You're just living off of somebody else's money right now. At some point, that's going to run out. And what's going to happen? You're still going to be in that position because you didn't learn anything. So we have to be able to be that wall that stops people from this is just the way it is. It doesn't have to be that way. I don't care how old you are. I don't care what your habits are, what habits you don't have. You can learn a better way of producing more income or creating more income or multiplying the income that you have coming in just by putting yourself in a position to have the right conversation with people and be vulnerable and be able to be taught how to better manage your money, put it in better positions, save more, don't live beyond your means, come up with a budget, do all these things that people do to have a better life, to where they don't have to struggle. But then it's like some people don't want to learn that. Some people say life is in the struggle. No, it's not. Mm-hmm. You shouldn't learn to just live the way that's gotten comfortable living. Because I guarantee if your position would change or your income status would change, things would feel a whole lot better for you and look a whole lot better for you. All because you may feel better because you have a little bit more money to do things with, opposed to working for someone and waiting until you get paid so that you can tell the people that you're responsible of paying that you can give them their money. When you can just live a life and just say, oh, that shit's paid off. I got people calling me talking about they want to give me this damn credit card that's got like $100,000 limit on it. And I can go sit at the Admiral Suite when I go fly at the airport. I think I want that kind of shit. No. You may want to. You may desire it. It may fit in your budget. But really, for what? I mean, it's a convenience thing for me, yeah. But really, for what?
Is it a necessity?
Is it a necessity? I mean, granted, because you got the money, you could pay for it. I get that, but
wants in one hand and needs in the other.
Well, it's not even. I think, yeah, that's true. That is true. But people that have never lived that lifestyle, all of a sudden want to be in that lifestyle, and then they have to.
There,
they enjoy it for the time that they can, and then all of a sudden it's like, damn, why I ain't got enough money to go up there? Right. It's because that's all you was doing.
Right.
Just because you had a certain amount of money. Spin. It's like, do it one time just to say you did it and then come down off of it. It's like, you've been there. What the hell you need to go back for?
Yeah.
The same amenities that they got up there at Admiral's Club, you can have at your house.
For real.
I'm just saying. But I think it comes to an understanding that I think some people have. We have to be smarter with not just our income, but what we have as income. You have to be more responsible about what you have as income, because it is your responsibility to take care of your situation.
Yeah, and do you even know what all your streams of income are, and are you properly having the what is it called, the your W-4 adjusted properly?
Well, I said that earlier. Yeah, there's going to be deeper conversations that we're going to have on just that particular topic, but other topics. And I think it's going to make people have a better feeling about, yes, the good old saying that, they taking our money and everything. Well, they get paid before you do. So it's, yes, they're taking your money. So yeah, the more you make, the more they're going to take. So it's being aware of that situation, being aware of the fact that you can change that situation, yes, to where you can have more money coming to you. But what you do with that extra money is what changes everything. Some people say, it's all rooted, regardless of how much money you make, it's all rooted as far as, your responsibility is paying your bills, but it's on your credit score too. I can agree. I can agree with that.
That part.
It's that, score. But at the same time, we have people that innately want to believe, because of their situation or what they religiously believe or whatever the case may be, that credit is not that important. So you must be the only 20% of the people in the world that have the money and they can just pay for everything in cash. Like, you don't have to borrow any money to buy a car. You don't have to borrow any money to buy a house. You don't necessarily have to borrow any money to get your college education if you choose to do that. That's fine. But don't make it a whole situation where people have to believe that's how they got to live their life. At some point, you want to leave a legacy, and how are you going to leave that legacy if your mentality is, I don't have to rely on anybody. I can just pay everything in cash. That's a great mentality to have, especially if you have the cash to do it. But what are you doing for longevity wise when you're not here?
Right.
How are you passing that money down so that your kids can take care of their kids, and their kids can take care of their kids, and their kids can take care of their kids? Are you setting up an educational, financial, portfolio for your family to say, hey, these are the things I did. This is how I multiplied my money. You can get into this, blah, 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 blah. You don't know what things will change to make this a better situation that your legacy can benefit off of and make grow into a bigger, financial generational wealth for your family. But we're so stuck on the oppressed situations that happen that we can never get out of that. It's like you have knowledge of the situation, then what are you doing about it? Well, I created a business too, and da-da-da-da. Why haven't I heard about it?
Yeah. And
What-
once you have your stuff situated, are you doing the education behind it to
Regardless of what it is, yeah.
your generation, your children? Are you providing that education to them so then they can take that education that you provided them to teach their children, and so on and so forth down the line? I mean, knowledge and education about different scenarios and the ways of life, it comes from home, but at the same time, you have to really, pay attention as a child growing up with your parent and having that parent providing you education. There's some things that either you're going to be told to remember, or you're going to have to write that crap down because you're going to forget by the time it's time for you to take over or, do something. You have to have that mindset to be ready to go. And you should, by the time your parent is providing that education to you, you should be grabbing that notebook and being like, all right, I can jump in and take over and continue this on.
And that's just on a kid's level. I mean, as adults, these are people that,
Right.
that
And it's unfortunate that we're in that situation.
It's not even just an unfortunate thing. I mean, it's been happening for years, and it just got to the point where people are tired of letting it be that way. And I get it. This is the problem, though. When you have a platform, or for that matter, anybody can have a platform. Anybody has a platform that gives you the ability to speak your mind, you should do it. And when you do it, you should support others that's doing it so that you both can grow and you guys can collaborate and you can do so many different things together, but you both are building. See, the problem with success is successful people are only around other successful people. That's not like a bad statement. It's how people continue to be successful, because they learn from successful people. Not saying that you can't learn from someone that's not successful, but that's like having a broke person tell a rich person how they need to save money. How can you do it? You can't. You should be able to have the ability to say, it shouldn't matter my financial situation. I think I know how to save, and this is what I'm going to do. Is this a good idea?
Yeah, be able to bounce
those questions, yeah,
ideas off of others.
And if the person is selfish and they don't want to give you that, then fuck them. Just be like, okay, no big deal. I know somebody that says they're willing to have this conversation with me. I'll go talk to them, and you go talk to them, and guess what? They're going to give you so many different things that you could do. It's up to you to pick which one you want, to do.
Absolutely.
And that's what I try to tell people. I was like, pick what's comfortable for you. Because everything may be the right thing to invest in or the right thing to start putting your money into. But really, you still got to educate yourself on it. You got to put yourself in a position that you will need to be in control of it. Nobody else but you. You may have help along the way, but you still in control of it because it's your money.
Right.
So anyway, y'all, keep it short and sweet tonight. I hope y'all enjoyed the podcast. Please listen on all social medias that I am attached to: Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, as well as Twitch and Twitter. That's what I said. Type it in the search bar. You'll be able to pull up all the pages. Go to Spreaker.com. You'll be able to go to Spreaker.com, create a login, download the app. You listen to it live. Or, like again, I said, listen to it on all social media platforms. Apple, Google, you name it. We're there. Any parting words before we get up out here?
No, just thank you all for tapping in and tuning in to the podcast. Make sure you go like, share, send us your feedback. Any questions or comments that you have, send it to I said what I said at that'swhatisaid.com, and we will discuss your question on air and get back to you if that's not how you prefer to have it. We're gonna be hitting the streets here. Not sure if we're gonna be doing it on this Friday or not, but till then, thanks for tapping in. Peace.
We'll be popping in here probably Thursday for the 2 days a week. That's the change. We're going to be doing the podcast 2 days a week. It'll be Tuesdays and Thursdays at 8 p.m. Eastern. And I will not leave you guys, because typically what I'm going to do is leave you guys with at least one financial topic or just, brief discussion, and then one motivational quote for the week or whatever the case may be. I will do that next Tuesday and start doing them every Tuesday. I won't do one on Thursday. I'll just do it on Tuesday to get us through the week. And people will say, oh, you should do it on Mondays, blah, blah, blah. Well, guess what? If you follow That's What I Said, the podcast, as soon as my website that's getting worked on gets up, there will be a blog to where you'll be able to go in there. And every day there will be a financial tip of the day. It'll be a motivational quote of the day. And this will change every day. With no problem. You guys will be able to go in there and see what it is, be motivated, see what the financial tip is, see if you can educate yourself more about it or whatever, or I may discuss it within the podcast. So with that being said, y'all, I hope y'all have a great rest of your week. Tap in and tune in on Thursday, because that's where we're going to be, right here, right back at you. And make sure, like I said, you follow us on all social media. Download the app, y'all. Follow us. Do what y'all do. Peace and love. We out of here. We'll see y'all on Thursday. Same bat time, same bat station, and all the other shit. We out. Peace.
That's what he said with Cedric D. Sanders.